Hey guys, I'd like to introduce one of the biggest and most iconic American designers of our time, a very good friend, Tommy Hilfiger.
Thank you, Ronnie. I'm honored to sit with someone who's disrupting the entire fashion world and setting it on fire. What you're doing is, as far as I'm concerned, beyond. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, you didn't start off with the classic education and design. You started off making denim for yourself and your friends. Is that right?
That's right. In 1969, when I was 18 years old, real rock and roll was just beginning to blossom, and the style of rock and roll intrigued me. So I wanted to look like a rock star, and I wanted to offer those clothes to my friends. So a couple of buddies and I put together $150 each and opened a small shop in upstate New York called People's Place. And while I was owning and running People's Place, I learned a lot about the business.
Okay.
As I know you did from working in retail.
Sure.
You learn what people like, what they don't like, what sells, what doesn't sell. So I learned a lot. And then I had a dream. And the dream was to build my own brand. So I thought, in order to do that, I would have to test items. So I made jeans and cool gear of the time locally with seamstresses.
In upstate?
In upstate New York.
Wow.
And I put those items in my stores, and people bought them, loved them, wanted me to make more. So at that moment, I knew I wanted to build my own brand.
Wow.
And when I told my family and friends I wanted to build my own brand, they said, how do you can't build a brand. How do you build a brand? And I said, well, you know, there are these guys like, I don't know, Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, they have brands. I could have one.
Wow. And that's how it started.
That's how it started.
It's funny because that's very similar to how I started. You know, when
I remember Atrium.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we were next door to Atrium, but we were an 800 square foot footwear shop. And then, like you just said, you know, we made a few pieces, just bottoms, basically, pants, a twill jogger. And after we made a few pairs, it was insane how much people wanted the retailer to become a brand. Usually the brand becomes a retailer.
Right.
But with both of us, it was the opposite. You know, and I think that that's very rare. I relate to that very much because I am a business person who is also a creative. Studying the consumer and knowing what they want ultimately teaches us how to give value back to the consumer.
Exactly.
You know, so giving people more than what they pay for today is really taking the opposite approach that most others are taking for instant gratification, for something to live today and to be on to something new tomorrow. When working with you, I think the goal was to build something that can be timeless. When you look back and see what it is that we worked on, it's something that can age really well.
I think that's important because if you're just doing fashion trends,
right,
they come and go. But if you develop a brand and you develop a product that can be here today and also here tomorrow, then you're building longevity into the brand. And that was my idea, to build longevity into the brand and to build an American classic sensibility that I could take worldwide.
And I know this about you, you know, we work on things that feel good to us. It feels good to be able to give people the opportunity to buy into a great product because they're getting value out of it. It's not only the value at face value for what it is, but it's actually what goes into it. That's one thing I think that was very important and very fair about your brand, is that I never felt like things were overpriced because of the branding. That's another thing, you know, that I think is very important about the way that I see the brand moving forward, the KITH brand as well as yours, is never charging for the branding. You remove a logo, the product costs the same. You put the logo back on, we don't want to charge more for it. You're buying it for the piece that, for the piece that it is.
Affordability.
And that's the thing, today I don't think it's spoken about enough.
It's not. But I think a lot of people think that if it's more expensive, it's better.
That's not always the case.
It's not always the case.
Yeah.
And I think with our brand, we've always been affordable.
Right.
And I always wanted it to be affordable because I always wanted a lot of people to wear it.
Right. It's a combination of all of these things that we know that we try to include in our product to maximize the potential of a piece and still make it so that the kid can enjoy it.
Otherwise, a shirt is a shirt. A jean is a jean.
Yeah,
and if you don't put the extra effort into designing it with passion,
right,
it's just going to be another shirt.
That's right. No one needs more shit.
And that's what I've always told my assistants who work with me. Okay, what is special about that item?
Right.
Items have to be special. And they have to say, wear me or buy me. And that's why the kids are going to continue to come back.
Yeah.
Because they want what is new,
right,
what is relevant, but they want great value.
I feel like there are people that give the word value just like, they give it the wrong meaning. They think of value differently the way we do.
The word value has been used with like discounters and mass retailers, but value is a gift. It's that extra you get without paying more.
Right.
I mean, this sneaker is packed with value.
Right. The value in pieces is not only, price generated. It's generated by the thought of it fitting right. You're getting more than what you pay for. And at the end of the day, you'll be able to have that piece in your closet for a very long time. When you were working on those pieces, did you ever think like, oh, this is something people are going to look back at, 20 years from now? I need to make sure that it withstands time.
I didn't realize this was going to happen. I thought if I could build a brand that would touch one's lifestyle,
right,
it would be a lasting brand and it would have meaning.
You created a world for me that we lived in. We dove into your world and became part of it. Looking back at all those products and how many categories, the sailing collection, like, Tommy definitely loved working on the sailing collection. That's a big, hobby of yours, So looking at that and then looking at the expedition, at the outerwear, knowing how you like to travel, seeing the swim, knowing how you like to vacation, that brand, I know that brand was built for you. And the only person or one of very, very few that I can relate to in the sense of what the brand looks like and how much it is based on my life would be your brand.
But that's exactly what you're doing. I love the word evolution. I love evolving the brand forward. And it doesn't have to be revolutionary, but it could be evolutionary. And I see you doing that with KITH. It's evolving. It's almost like a living thing that you created. It's all about watching you evolve, which to me is exciting because
Thank you.
I look at you as being a young me. But I think where you were really smart was when you started to do collabs.
Right.
Because the collaborations gave your best effort and your talent with another brand's talent.
Right.
Whether it was Adidas and KITH, Nike with KITH, Moncler with KITH, I've seen you do collaborations like no one else because I know you designed the collabs.
Right.
And it's not just someone putting someone else's name on their product.
Right.
And I think the consumer, especially the millennials today, see through bullshit. And they see that it's real and authentic and that you're really actually designing for them. And I think that your authenticity is woven into what you do. And this is authentically ours.
I know.
And for me, it's like an honor to be able to have someone like you with your following, with your name and your retail presence to want to do it with me.
feel the same way on this side though. It's like, it's funny because that's when I feel like it's the best that it could be, is like when both brands or people have, you know, the same kind of ambition and the same passion in what we do. That's what this is. That's what all of this is. I can't believe this is happening right now. Like I can't believe that our logo for the past 7 years where we've been open has landed itself on the griffin, which is like the holy grail to me of what a logo represents for a brand. It's incredible.
For me, it gives relevancy to my brand and credibility to my brand.
I mean,
So it's a win-win for both of us, but I think it's a win for the consumer as well.
yeah, I mean, the end result is the win for the consumer. You know, the way that I feel and the way that I have felt I haven't been able to put it in a bottle and give it to someone. That's what this is. This is the bottle, you know?
Thank you.
No doubt. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. And I cannot
Great
wait.
talk.
I cannot wait till this is on the shelf.
I can't
Until
wait.
people can feel the way we feel about it.
Exciting.
Thank you, Tommy.
You guys did a great job. Amazing.
I appreciate it.
Beyond.